Hello, Mr. Ruth here. This is Shaker Heights Sequences in Series, Arithmetic Sequences. This is video number 3. All right, so in the last video, we came up with a formula for a sequence. All right, in the last video, we had a sequence just like this, and we said, all right, here's my formula for the general term of a sequence. And here we figured out that a sub 1 was equal to 60, and d was equal to negative 8. So we came up with the formula a sub 1 equals 60 plus negative 8, and I put that in parentheses because it's negative, times n minus 1. The other way to write this would have been 60 minus 8 times n minus 1, and that would work fine as well. All right, but in this question, we're adding a little bit to what the question is asking us. In this question, it says, what is the 12th term of this sequence? In other words, here's the first term, second term, third term, fourth term. If we just kept going all the way to the 12th term, what would it be? Now, I could just subtract 8, subtract 8, subtract 8, and figure it out that way. But I want to use my formula. That's why I came up with this formula, so I can use it to generate terms of a sequence. Well, how do I do that? Well, I take the number of the term I'm trying to find. Here it's 12, and that is my n value. So if I was looking for the 5th term, n would be 5. If I was looking for the 100th term, n would be 100. Here, n is 12. And I go over to the formula that I've come up with, and I plug in, for n, I plug in 12. So I get a, now I don't just plug in 12 here, I plug it in here as well. So I get a sub 12 equals 60 minus 8 times 12 minus 1. Now, I want to use Desmos on this. I'm not great at doing the math. So if I click over in my browser to Desmos, I can do the math. If I've got my Desmos calculator open, I type in 60 minus 8 times 12 minus 1, close the parentheses, and I get my answer here, negative 28. If you have a calculator at home, you can use that. But if you don't have your calculator, Desmos will get you the answer very quickly. So that's what this is useful for. This tells me that a sub 12 equals negative 28. That's my answer. So I don't have to just subtract 8 a bunch of times. I can use the formula and find the 12th term without having to find all of the terms in between. And you might think, oh, well, I could subtract 8 several times real quick. Sure, if I'm just trying to find the 12th term, but what if I'm trying to find the 50th term or the 100th term? This method is pretty useful. All right, let's do one more from scratch, and then we'll call it a day. Find the formula for the nth term, then find a sub 20. So again, I'm using this general formula. This is my starting place for all of these problems. And the first thing I'm going to do is figure out what a sub 1 and d are. All right, what is a sub 1 here? Well, that's the first term. That's the 5. What's d? How much am I adding each step? It looks like to get from 5 to 13, it looks like I'm adding 8. If that's not apparent to you, remember you can always do 13 minus 5 on your calculator, and that'll give you the 8. So I take these two numbers I've gotten, and I'm going to plug them in over here into my formula. A sub n equals a sub 1, which is 5. Right from over there, plus d, which in this problem is 8, times the quantity n minus 1. So here's my formula. So that's step 1, find the formula. I've done the first part of the problem. But now it says find a sub 20. What does a sub 20 mean? Oh yeah, that little number, that subscript means the 20th term. So if I'm trying to find a sub 20, they're telling me that n, the number of term, equals 20. So I plug in 20 for n. 5 plus 8 times the quantity 20 minus 1. I flip over to Desmos. 5 times 8, 5 plus 8 times the quantity 20 minus 1. And I get an answer of 157. And so that's my answer to the question. All right, good luck with the homework tonight, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye now.